Hi everyone, welcome to another video, The Beauty Expert here. There's a series of videos going around called the Nail Industry Tag, and my dear friend Cheyenne at Liquid Chrome Nails has tagged me to do one. So there's 10 questions. I'm going to do my best not to ramble, but no promises. So I would like to tag Noreen O'Connor in return to do this video. I'd love to see her do this video as well. We use a lot of the same products, so I do watch her channel quite often. So let's get into it. Here we go. So the first question is, how long have you been in the nail industry and what inspired you to be a part of it? So I've been licensed since 2005, so I've been doing this for 12 years. I always loved painting my nails. I always loved makeup. I've always been a pretty girly girl. I also took my course very young. I was 17 when I went into it and 18 when I graduated. So I was very young. It was a weird time in my life. So it was something that I could take and stay at home and not make any big life changes. And it just turned out that I loved it. So it really worked out for me really well. Question number 2, have you ever wanted to give up? What changed your mind, and any advice for this struggle? Yes, many times. For me, the reasons that I've had for wanting to give up have not really been to do with doing nails so much as salon life. I had a couple of pretty negative experiences early on in my career that really left a bad taste in my mouth for working in big spas with multiple girls working there. I think anytime you get a lot of people in one small space, that things can get weird pretty quickly. So I actually did take a few years off from working in the salon, and I worked for Maritime Beauty Supply for several years. I worked in the store as the assistant manager, and then I also traveled around New Brunswick, the province where I live, doing aesthetic education for New Brunswick for Maritime Beauty. So I was still in the industry. I was just doing sort of a different facet of the industry. Eventually I met a really great group of girls to go into business with. We all sort of rented space, so I did take a little hiatus, and then I did find a great group of girls that I really enjoyed, and then I went off and opened this spot, The Beauty Expert, on my own. So my advice would be to separate yourself from negative people and toxic people and find a place where you can be happy and where you can thrive, whether that's with perhaps a smaller group of people or just some other group of people that have a like mind, or maybe that means doing what I'm doing and working by yourself. It's really very liberating to sort of set your own path. So my advice is be happy. Find a place where you can be happy, and you won't want to give up because, you know, it's just really wonderful. So question number 3. What part of doing nails has been the biggest struggle to master for you, and what has been your strongest point? I hate forms. I hate them. I don't use them. We actually didn't learn forms in school. When I was in school, we just learned tips. So I really haven't ever been able to master sculpting with forms. I am a tip girl 100% of the way. I can, you know, bang out a full set with tips in the same amount of time that I can do a fill. So forms, like, how do you guys do that? The only time I've ever really had any luck with them is like on occasion when I'm doing like a pedic on the toes to like shove it under that big toenail when there's like a corner missing. Otherwise, like, I just can't get that stuff on there right. So forms are my least favorite. Also, I think everyone who's done this video has mentioned striping tape. Man, that stuff does not stay on. I've tried everything. I've tried like multiple coats of top coat. I've tried it all. It doesn't stay on. So yeah, those are not fun things to work with. My absolute strong point has always been shaping. I really feel like that is one of the things that I excel at. When I look at some of the, you know, Instagram posts or different nail pictures, like, I often find myself picking apart their shaping. I do feel like I have that on point. Color application and French application, I'm just really, really fussy. So I do feel like I'm really strong when it comes to those things, which I know seem really basic, like polish application, French application, structure of the nail, you know, but they're important. Like if you don't have those things down pat, then you're not going to put out really nice nails. So I do feel like those are my strong points. You know, if anyone has any tips on how to do forms, I'm open to suggestion. Question number 4. Who is your biggest inspiration in the nail industry and why do they inspire you? You know, I think this changes all the time now with social media and YouTube and all of the tools that we have at our disposal. You're not really limited to like what you see in certain classes and things like that. So I do have a long list of people that I subscribe to. Definitely my friend Cheyenne at Liquid Chrome Nails. She's a big inspiration to me. She actually inspired me to start this channel. We live about an hour away from each other, but we talk all the time, and I find that great how we can kind of bounce ideas back and forth with one another, and she really inspires me to branch out and try new products. I really, for the longest time, was like, I buy all my products at, you know, the local beauty supply store, and, you know, now I'm branching out. I'm buying some things online that I would have never thought to try based on things that I've seen in her videos or in other people's videos, so that's been really inspiring to me. Somebody else I'd like to mention is Jennifer Mather. She works for C&D. I've probably taken at least a half a dozen classes of hers. She is wonderful. She actually was the one who taught the first C&D Briza class that I took. I actually hated doing nails until I took that class. I was like really questioning my life choices when it came to nails. I just really struggled with it, and I took that first class with her, and it just changed the game. Like, she had all these great tips and tricks, and she knew the products, and everything just came together after that. And I've actually retaken a few classes with her just because, I mean, she knows her stuff. Some of my favorite techniques that I do on a regular basis, I learned from her in a class here in Atlantic, Canada. I think she's in Ontario, but anyways, she's wonderful. Jennifer Mather. If you ever see a class being offered by C&D with her as the instructor, take it. She's great. You know, and there's a lot. I mean, we have YouTube, right? So I watch a lot of videos from Nail Career Education, Noreen O'Connor that I mentioned at the beginning. You know, I could just keep listing, so we'll stop there. Question number 5. What is your least favorite color and piece of art to use? Light colors, like pastel colors, are the worst. Anything that shadows, like some colors, man, you put like 4 coats on there and it still has shadowing, but now it looks really thick. I get really bummed out when people ask for like a white nail or like a pastel yellow nail. I mean, it sounds nice, but it's not. So those are definitely my least favorite. They also do like have a tendency to discolor over time. I don't know, I've tried different top coats. It doesn't seem to make a difference. So those are definitely my least favorite. As far as my favorites, I mean, I love dark colors. I wear a lot of dark colors. Dark colors are my comfort zone. I love anything that's like really saturated. You know, there's some of those beautiful colors where you could almost get away with just one coat because it's so rich. So I love the dark colors, the jewel tones. Glitter and transfer foil are like absolutely go-to. When I don't know what else to do, I do glitter foils. So I do love those things. Question number 6, how has social media helped you all these years? Social media is a game changer. It hasn't been around for my entire career, but I think I'm really trying to utilize it now. I can remember when I first started out, you know, 12 years ago, putting like flyers under people's windshield wipers on their car, like in parking lots near to the salon where I worked. Like, that's what we did back then. It's a totally different game now. Like, you would never do that now. So it really has changed the game. I think especially in the last 7 years or so. You can learn anything you want on the internet. It's amazing. Pinterest is amazing. I mean, it's sort of the best and worst thing that's ever happened to the industry, but I think it's great when clients come in with pictures of what they want, so you don't have to come up with like a fresh idea for like all 12 people that you have to do today. Most people either have a picture or they have an idea, or, oh, I saw, you know, this set on Pinterest and can we do something like that? You know, I think that's really awesome. Clients are much more inspired than they ever were in the past. And I mean, Facebook and Instagram, it's free advertisement. Like, what else could you possibly want or ask for? All you have to do is be active on your social media accounts. I've actually gained a lot of clients from just posting pictures of nails that I do. And even my existing clients, they love to go through my Facebook page or my Instagram and look at what I've been doing rather than going onto Pinterest and seeing the same, you know, 50 pictures that they see every time they log on. They can go right on and see what, you know, Jamie's been up to, which I think is really, really cool. So it's really helped the industry, I think, a lot. Question number 7, what is one nail art skill that you've seen others master that you currently feel you can't? Marble. Why can't I do marble? I keep trying and it's a mess. I can't do it. I actually tried a set yesterday. It didn't go well. I have a really hard time with random designs. I don't know, my brain, it's just, I need to be able to break it down to shapes, and I can't do that when it's like random. So I have a really hard time with like marble and like swirls and, you know, anything that's supposed to be sort of freehand. Like, I'm much better at breaking down shapes and like reproducing than I am at just letting it flow. I'd love to be able to do that though. I keep trying. So if you guys have any tips, I'm open to it. You know, I keep watching all the videos, but those are some things that I'm really trying to work on, is being a little bit more artistic and not being so fussy. It goes against everything on my nature. Question number 8, starting today, if money and education were not an issue, if you had to stop doing nails, what would you do instead? I had a hard time with this question. I don't know. I've literally been doing this my entire adult life. Like I said, I graduated when I was 18, and I'm 31. So I don't have any other skills. I know that's not really the question, but it was a tough one. So looking back to when I was younger and the things that I was interested in, I did think very seriously about being a chef, you know, taking the culinary course. And I also thought very seriously about getting into like fashion design. So I probably would have done one of those two things if I wasn't doing nails. But I love doing nails, so let's keep doing it. So question number 9. What do you think the next big trend in nail art will be? Something we haven't seen before. So it's really hard to predict something that we haven't seen before. But that's a really tough question. I think textures are going to be big. Like, we've seen, you know, the marble nail, and we've seen the geode nail. And we've seen, you know, the caviar nail. So I do think that the texture trend is going to continue. Perhaps we'll see some more imitations of stonework. I'm not sure, but I think that trend will continue. You know, we've seen the chrome. These are all sort of different textures. So I think that will continue. Who knows where it will go exactly, but I think that is sort of a continuing trend. In my opinion, and with what I'm seeing, a lot of people are going back to basics. As you can see, I often just go plain Jane. I love Cheyenne and I have called it the 10-finger trend. You know, I feel a lot of people are going back to basics. I think the last few years, we've gone so bananas with the nail art that people are really craving to go back to those just beautiful colors that they love. There's something about a plain color where the nails look more natural. You don't have people asking you, are those fake nails? You more have people saying like, oh, what a beautiful color. You know, so I do think that you will see a lot more of that sort of basic, classy, just solid color. French is definitely on its way out. I do think it will make a comeback, but I think we're ready for it to be gone for a little while. It's had its day in the sun. And I think also that geometric patterns are always coming and going as far as like different ways of doing it and different types of line work and different shapes. So I do think we will see lots of geometric designs in the future. Okay, so question number 10. What are some of the nail goals you've set for yourself this year? So I haven't set any specific nail goals. However, as I mentioned before, I am trying to work on being a little bit more creative and, you know, really master some of these things like marble. Why can't I do that? It's really frustrating. You know, I try to stay up with the trends. It's hard. Where we live in Atlantic Canada, we're very isolated, so a lot of times by the time we see trends, they're like done everywhere else, and we're like, yay, stiletto. You know, so I am trying to keep up with the trends. I'm trying to pay attention to what's popular, not just here but elsewhere where they might be a little bit more fashion forward. So I like to stay on top of those things and sometimes offer things to my clients before they see it on Pinterest. And I want to continue to try and find new and better products, you know, and not box myself into, I use this brand. You know, I don't think there's anything wrong with cherry picking here and there. I do think it's important for certain products to stay together. But I also think there's some great products out there that I'm just learning about. So I'm really excited about that. And I want to continue to grow my YouTube channel. I really want to focus on making videos regularly and putting myself out there. This has been way outside of my comfort zone. This is something I've wanted to do for a long time, but really just never had the confidence to do it. So I'm just trying to force myself to step out of the box a little bit. I read somewhere once that life begins at the end of your comfort zone, and that really resonated with me. So I'm trying to push myself, and I hope it's being well received. So there was a bonus question at the end, and it is, why do you think nails are the bottom of the barrel? Everyone is willing to pay over $100 for lashes, but gasp at $60 for nails. I had to set my book down to answer this question. Our industry is so oversaturated. It doesn't matter where you live, how small of a town you're in, there are so many places to get your nails done. Especially if you live in a big city, there's like literally a nail shop on every corner. So I think that plays a huge part of it. People will just hunt around for the best price. However, you get what you pay for when it comes to nails. And I think it's really important that we in the industry invest in our education. I have a stack of certificates, like, you know, any class that's handy that I can take, even if I've already taken it, if there's a different instructor, I'll take it again. That person might have something new to offer me. So I really think it's important to invest in your education, set yourself apart from the crowd, keep things very clean. Clients notice those things, and know your worth. I think we're all guilty of feeling bad to charge more, or charging extra for nail art, or, you know, I think we all feel guilty, and especially the longer we have our clients, the harder it is to actually charge what we're worth, because we love them and we want to give them deals. But, you know, it's really hard to pay the bills that way. And year to year to year, our products go up in cost. Taxes have gone up, you know, rent costs go up, and, you know, we don't get raises. We don't get like, oh, you did a great job, here's, you know, a 10% raise for the year. No, so we have to charge accordingly. We have to increase our prices regularly, and we have to pay attention to our bottom line. So know your worth. People will leave. You know, there are people who will leave. However, they come back. If they go looking for the bargain basement nails, they will come back with a mess for you to fix, and they will likely never leave again. So I think it's important to not be afraid of that, and to, you know, like I said before, know your worth, because we are worth it, and we've put our heart and soul into this industry. I know I have, and, you know, it's worth every penny in my opinion. So that's the nail industry tag. I've rambled for about 20 minutes, so I think that's plenty. So Thank you, Cheyenne at Liquid Chrome Nails, for tagging me to do this video. I will link her channel in the description box if you guys want to check her out. She does some really great hauls and tutorials and all kinds of great stuff. So she's awesome, and hopefully Noreen will see this and do a tag as well. That would be really cool. And I'll see you guys next time. Oh, and please subscribe. Like this video, subscribe to my channel. It means the world to me. I really appreciate the support, and I'll see you guys soon. Bye.